Well, let's return to our main story. The US government trying to restore confidence in the banking system. And joining me from Washington is Mark Bloomfield, who's president of the American Council for Capital Formation. A very warm welcome to you. First of all, what are your thoughts at the end of this almost unbelievably tumultuous week?
Let's hope at the end of the week we're beginning to restore confidence in the financial markets, which I think is one of three keys to getting out of this mess.
Yeah, and will the plan being worked on by the US government restore that confidence?
I think it's a start. It's a start because, as Franklin Roosevelt said in the 30s, and mind you, this is the greatest financial crisis since 1932, the only thing we have to have is fear itself. And at least now the average investor, the consumer, the business, has some belief that people who can make a difference, the government and among others, are willing to step in and try to do something.
And yet there are already doubts being expressed. You've got some Republicans objecting to any more bailouts at all. You've got Democrats asking why should we be helping Wall Street rather than Main Street. I mean, will this plan work?
It's as good a shot as any. The first thing you have to do if someone is an extremist is stop the bleeding. And I think that is done. The second thing that needs to be done, we're basically facing a liquid mortgage asset situation. And by taking these illiquid mortgage assets out of financial institutions, the hope is we can get some liquidity flowing again in the financial markets. And that is critically important. If the financial markets are strengthened, then the financial markets can hopefully do their job and provide the fuel to keep the economy going. If they don't, you begin to have high credit, you begin to have more mortgage failures, consumer loan problems, and we go into the recession. So this is as good a shot as I think we've had in the last 10 days.
A shore up for the US economy, but what do you think may be the implications for the rest of the world? I mean, could this be storing up problems for the future?
I think there's a short-term problem, and that's what this is trying to address. But mind you, we're in a global economy, and as you probably know, in England, the United Kingdom may face its first recession in 15 years. Again, it's a question of consumer confidence. I think we should be encouraged that unlike the 30s, we now understand the economy better, and the world central bankers are working together. So the things that fail or that hurt the American economy, which is a lack of confidence, which is a lack of solvency or perceived solvency in financial institutions, and a lack of liquidity in the market, are worldwide problems. And I think the United States addressing them is a very important start.
And just briefly, Mark Bloomfield, if we were to speak in a week's time, would you expect to be assessing a week, 7 days that were just a little quieter than these have been?
A little quieter, but if I knew 10 days ago on Friday what was going to happen on Tuesday, and on Tuesday what would happen on Friday, I would get a Nobel Prize in economics. But it'll be a little quieter, I predict, and hope.
Okay, Mark Bloomfield, President of the American Council for Capital Formation. Many thanks for your time.
Thanks.